All right, hey guys. So in this tutorial, I'm going to break down step by step on exactly how I built an appointment setter and autoresponder for qualifying and setting business opportunities using completely free tools. I'm not a big fan of paying expensive subscriptions on a recurring monthly or even yearly basis. So I wanted to find a way to take a lot of the AI and automation stuff and integrate it into some free existing tool sets that most people already use, such as Gmail, Google Sheets, Excel, things like that. So if you're looking for a way to 10x your sales team's efforts while not paying for expensive software like Go High Level or subscription-based models, you can literally build one of these for your business in a couple of hours. I know because I did it and I don't have a programming background. And depending on the size of your business, you might be able to keep your monthly operating costs for this system at less than a couple cups of coffee at Starbucks. So before we jump into how this is done, a little bit about me. I started building automation and AI systems over a year ago thinking I could save a few hours of work, but found that these tools are so incredibly powerful that they can literally bring in millions of dollars in opportunity pretty quickly. And that's exactly what I did with the last client that I worked with, and we brought in $1.65 million in opportunity value in a little under 3 months. And mind you, this was with a rudimentary version of what I've built out and now implement. I don't have an extensive background in programming or software development. I did have a few classes in college in engineering, which kind of helped with the systems mindset piece. But other than that, literally anybody can do this, and a lot of the information is already on YouTube. Big shout out to Nick Sarev and his channel for getting my stuff going and really helping to jumpstart this process. So if I can figure it out, you can definitely figure it out as well. If you like what I've built out and you're interested in having your own AI assistants built for you and your business to take some of that extra work off your plate and maybe save some money in the process, go ahead and click on the link down in the description and get yourself set up with a booking appointment so we can see if we're the right fit. Disclaimer, I'm running a pretty boutique operation right now, so not a lot of bandwidth for new clients or projects. It is going to be first come, first serve. All right, with that, let's jump into building out one of these systems in make.com. All right, so if you watched the other video that I posted kind of outlining how the autoresponder AI assistant works, it's really a series of about 6 modules here in make.com, starting with a webhook that gets triggered every time a message is sent to this particular custom mail hook. Really all that is it's a unique email address that an email gets forwarded to, and that email address is essentially this module. So once it hits the inbox, if you will, air quotes there, it'll start this process. The email will be sent to the text parser, so all of the content that's in that message, which will then be fed as HTML text into the ChatGPT modules. So the first one is going to read and then draft a custom response to that message based on some parameters that we're going to set and some different prompts that we're going to use, because AI is all about training that particular AI session to do what you want it to do. So we pre-program this module to have some of those parameters and that tone of voice that we're looking for. We're then going to have another ChatGPT module extract the email address from the original message so that we can send it back to the customer or the client or the prospect. And then we're going to use a sleep function to let the whole flow sleep for anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half to an hour. Really, we just don't want this to automatically respond to the message immediately. It doesn't have a very authentic or human feel to it. Granted, we're using AI to write messages, but we definitely want to avoid the prospect feeling like they're just getting some auto-generated generic response. So the way I like to think of using AI tools is it's not a replacement for what we do in sales and marketing, but it is a way to augment our efforts. So if I have this assistant, and I like to think of AI almost like an uninterested, unenthused teenager working at the front desk, I tell it exactly what I want it to do. That assistant's going to give me pretty close to what I want back, but I'm still probably going to have to make some modifications or just verify that the work was done correctly. So the last module here is the send an email module, and that will take everything that we've created in the previous ChatGPT modules, and it will format it nicely into an email to send back to our prospect. So the first thing to really understand here is when you're setting up your custom mail hook, this module right here, it's going to give you an address, which I've got blurred out, but it'll give you a make.com address down here that you will forward all of your emails to in order to have those responses go to this mail hook. So what that would look like, for example, if you were using Thunderbird or Gmail, you're going to go into your settings. Here we go, tools. All right, filters. So that's what we're looking for right there. So we'll go back to here. We'll click on the mailbox that we want to modify. Click on message filters, and then I've got a filter running for a couple different subject lines that I know I'm going to get from clients if they respond to me or if they submit a form. So an easy one would be if you have a website with a contact us form, you can have the default subject line on that contact us form be something like your company's name dash contact us submission. And then you'd go into the filter and you would set that filter to run anytime you get a new mail, and then it's going to match the following, and this is where you'd put your subject line, your company name dash submission form. So then every time that message shows up in the inbox, it then gets forwarded to your mail hook, and it'll trigger the rest of the flow. So that's the first step you need to accomplish. You can do this in Gmail pretty easily. You can do it in Thunderbird. You can do it in most mail clients. Next, we're going to set up our text parser. So from the custom mail hook, when we click in this field, we're going to, as long as there's some data to play with, so you might want to send an email to that address, that make.com address, or submit a form and have it auto-forwarded to get the mail hook triggered. Then you're going to have some data you can play with, and it'll populate like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the actual content of the email, which is going to look like HTML content. So this is all of the components of our message, and here we go, right in the top few lines we've got HTML content. You're just going to click that and it'll populate into the text parser. So we want to have that variable in there. Next, we're going to set up a ChatGPT module. So if you're looking for any modules, you just go down to that plus button, type in, for example, ChatGPT. Make.com is great because it's got modules for just about any piece of software or API that's basically a connection to a different piece of online software or a website. So in this case, we're going to be using a ChatGPT API. We'll click on that, and we're going to be using the create a completion. And so you'll get something like this. If you're not familiar, by the way, already, in order to connect your modules, you just drag it close to where you want to play. And if you want to disconnect it, you can right click on it and you can unlink it. Or you can hold down the shift button and then drag over that module and then hit delete or copy and paste or whatever you need to modify these things. All right, so we're going to set up really the meat and potatoes of this whole thing is the smart assistant for the autoresponder and the emails. So you're going to have your API connected to this module, and you'll select your OpenAI connection. And if you guys need help connecting your API to this, I can do another video on that as well. But really what you're going to do is you're going to click the module, and none of this is going to be here at first. There's going to be an option up here to add your connection, and it should walk you through the steps on how to get your API code from ChatGPT. You copy and paste that in here, and then you'll have access to use ChatGPT's functionalities. This is really where most, if not all, of your operating costs are going to come from. In order to use the ChatGPT APIs, they use these things called tokens. Tokens are like pennies on the cent, essentially to run different operations. So when I say you can run a lot of this software, I've got, I think, 4 or 5 different flows, and this is probably one of the more simple ones by tenfold. It doesn't cost me more than about $15 a month, if I had to guess, to operate the ChatGPT API and to have access to all of the monthly operations in Make.com. But if you're running a small enterprise, Make.com is free for, I think, 1,000 operations a month or maybe a little bit more. And you can purchase as you go, set an auto charge. Which, side note, if you're going to use another platform such as Zapier or Go High Level, to have access to that, for example, Zapier is $129 per month. Your operating cost to have pretty much as many sequences and flows, half a dozen, whatever, of these types of assistants that are custom to your operating procedures and business, will cost you $129 a year, roughly. So I would much rather save that cash and spend a little time up front to get these built out. So yeah, so we've got our ChatGPT module here. The first thing we're going to do is select a method. We want to have create a chat completion clicked. Then we're going to choose our ChatGPT module. ChatGPT is advancing and will probably continue to advance pretty quickly. So I just have it set to default ChatGPT 4, but you can choose whichever one you want. And then we're going to go to the messages. So this is the same concept as having ChatGPT pulled up and you're typing into the chat box to start talking to it. So anytime you have a message that is system, you're telling the system that this is your baseline programming, if you will. This is your baseline parameter. So in order to start, I like to have system selected, and then I'm going to tell ChatGPT what it is. So in this particular case, our ChatGPT module is an intelligent email assistant that writes emails with spacing formatted properly for an email. So again, you have to be very specific about what you want. Try to keep each of your prompts to only a few different criteria so as not to overly confuse the machine and maybe get some wonky or inconsistent results. That's just what I've found from working with these. So then our next message, message 2, is going to be user. So that is you typing into the chat box or simulating that. And we're going to write out that you're monitoring a sales email inbox that receives inquiries for a sales and marketing automation service that I run. Your task is to digest the sales email and produce a high-quality, customized response in return. Make sure the responses are Spartan in nature and don't use any frilly language. So that's a phrase I definitely stole from Nick. It's super effective, but basically you're telling the ChatGPT module, hey, I want you to write in plain language. It should be formal, it should be smart, but it shouldn't be super frilly or superfluous, if you're using SAT language. And then we're going to say ensure that the sign off is at the bottom of the email with a new line separation for our very respectfully and the name. So I like to put in a pre-programmed formatted HTML sign off, which I'll get to at the end here, which includes the hyperlink to my website, a booking link, and it just makes it super easy and it's very clean and gets placed on every single email that goes out. All right, the next message is going to be another user message. We've taken a copy of what some of the HTML content would look like, the actual message. So not all the HTML code, but what the email would look like. So we've got our first name, John, the email. It's from our Precision Sales Studios at gmail.com. Subject, new lead notification, example content, and then here's the message. So this is going to teach ChatGPT, hey, this is what the HTML looks like that's coming from the text parser. Go ahead and work through this and draft a response that's going to look similar to this below. So system, hey John, right? We've got a couple simple HTML breaks here to show that we do want to format these emails in HTML to make them clean and stay consistent with the formatting. So hey John, thanks for reaching out. I appreciate your interest in my high-ticket marketing and sales automation services. Happy to help you get started. I just got your details marked down and can get you on the calendar for a quick meeting to discuss a custom build for your business. Please use the booking link below so we can sync schedules. So this is an old example where I have the booking link as a simple HTML link. A lot of times in marketing and sales, if you have a custom video sales letter with a GIF that's playing and it's clickable, it looks like a YouTube video almost, that's going to do a lot better from what I've seen than a generic link, because people are aware that there are phishing attacks out there, and prudent cybersecurity states that you really shouldn't be clicking links from people you don't know. But if you've got a video with a GIF and the GIF is of that person's website and your face kind of speaking over it, it's disarming, one, but two, it shows that you're probably legit in who you say you are. So I like to do those now, but to keep things simple, this is just an HTML link. And then if you want to spice things up a little bit, make it more a little bit more professional, you can use a button that links directly to your Calendly or your Google appointment setter. So I'll get into that when we go over the last email module with the custom sign-off. I always like to end my emails with looking forward to working with you, VR, very respectfully, and then my name. So this is the template that gives ChatGPT your tone of voice and the style in which you want it to write, and generally the length and syntax and all that good stuff. And then lastly, another user input, and this is going to be the text variable that came from the text parser, which took the HTML and turned it into that message content up here. So it's going to give that message to ChatGPT so that the AI can respond. Down here, just a couple small housekeeping things. Max tokens, this is the number of tokens, like I was talking about, for the API to use. It really comes down to how many operations do you want the module to be running. I just have it set to 300. It really shouldn't use that many. And then we've got our temperature set. So the higher the temperature, the more diverse and creative the response. I don't want it to be that creative, but I do want it to be a little bit different than the last response, just to keep things feeling very human and authentic. Again, this is augmenting our skills, not replacing our skills. So I've got temperature set to 0.7. And then our response format is going to be in text. So that pretty much covers all of the main working components of what you're going to need here. The next GPT module is pretty simple. We're telling it that this particular module, that you're an intelligent email responding assistant, extract the email address from the following text and only provide the email address as the answer. And then we've got, again, the text from our email message that was submitted by the prospect. We will insert a tools function that is called sleep. We're going to set the delay. I like the delay to be at least 1.5 minutes, but right now we've got it set to 10 seconds just for this example. And then lastly, we're going to use the email, send an email function. So if you've got this hooked up to Gmail, there's a separate Gmail module that you'll want to hook up and get integrated into this flow. It's basically the same thing, except this is custom built for the Gmail platform. The other one is for any other email provider, Yahoo, AOL, Firefox, Thunderbird, whatever. But if you're using Gmail, you can do the same thing just with these modules. All right, so once your connection is made to your email address, we've got it hooked up to our Precision Sales Studios at gmail.com. So it does function with Gmail. So, this is kind of interchangeable. I'm going to have it save the message after sending because I do want to have that archive of messages that are coming in and out. And then I'm going to choose the folder that this message is going to go into once we send the email from this flow. So it's going to be in sent mail. But you can set this to any inbox you want. And it's refreshing right now to see what data I can pull up. I guess the internet's being a little slow with us today. But if you have like an outbox of draft emails that you want to send, that's how I like to organize my email right here. We'll have an outreach drafts, and then like warm leads, we'll have the AI assistant will put in responses into here, so I know that these are the responses I have to go in and approve before hitting send. We're going to put the email address, so pretty much anytime you have an API for ChatGPT give you an answer, it's going to look like choices message content. So what that would look like when you go into find the email address, these get numbered sequentially by make.com. This is like an ID tag for which module you're working with. So I want the email address, which is on module 7. So we're going to look for module 7, extract the email address. We're going to go down to choices, message, and content. And that is for every single output that you're going to get from a ChatGPT module. The subject line, this can be custom, but I just have it set to email received, talk to you soon. The content type is HTML. And then again, the custom response is from module 2. And so we've got module 2 here, and we would go module 2, choices, message, and then we would hit content. And it'll populate in there for us. And then we'll hit OK. So the last thing I'm going to go over real quick is what the custom signature would look like. This is a much larger flow that I built for my CRM that uses web scrapers to build custom outreach emails, and will automatically update every single day, checking to see if the date for follow-ups has been met, and then it'll send a custom follow-up to that prospect. That's a topic for another video. However, we do have in here the HTML code for the sign-off, and there is a lot. And we're going to copy that, and we're going to paste it into our content here. And so now we should have a nice, clean contact us or booking link button with my custom sign-off and the logo and the hyperlink and all that good stuff, which will be automatically placed at the bottom of the response. So pro tip here, if you're looking to get HTML code for like an email signature, what you can do is go to Google, type in HTML reader, and you can take your email signature or an email signature from some marketer that you like, and you can literally copy and paste their signature into here. So I'll do that right now to show you kind of what that looks like. So here we go. Here's some email marketing. This looks like it's not quite what we're looking for. Here we go. Let's say we really like that sign off. We'll take it, we'll paste it into the HTML viewer. Oh, we might have to do a view source on this one, view page source. And then we'll look for all the best. Oh. There we go. Show original should get you the HTML that you're looking for. So here's our signature at the bottom. And I'm just going to copy all of that down to the end of my quote. And we'll paste it in there. And as you can see, here is our email. And we can chop away what we don't want. And now we have our signature line. So that's how you get this whole mess of HTML that you can then play with and add to. And then you just paste that into your email module. All right, so we have the Precision Sales Studios Contact Us form pulled up to show you what a quick live demo would look like. So we'll just put in a generic name for a prospect. This would be John Smith's email that he'd put here. He needs a new AI assistant. And we'll just do a generic message. Hey, Kevin, would love to know more. I need a new AI assistant for my carpet cleaning business. Can you help? Thanks, Johnny. So what's really cool about this is the parameters that you have set in your ChatGPT user prompts or system prompts can then direct the response to say, yes, we can help you with this, or no, we can't. So for example, if Johnny wanted a Python coded from scratch solution, I could tell the GPT module and have it hard coded to say, hey, unfortunately, we can't do Python projects, but we can build you an AI assistant. Or conversely, yes, we can build you an AI assistant because that's within our wheelhouse. It will then also prompt the client to the next stage of the sales pipeline or the sales funnel, and it'll say, hey, why don't you hop on our calendar, book a call with us so we can discuss further and see how we can help you out. So this is in real time. This email is going to go to a preset email for form submissions, which is different than the one you see here. The filter set up on that email is going to automatically forward it to our webhook and then process a response, which we'll see over here in our inbox. So this is an example of a message that wasn't quite properly formatted, which is why I like to normally have them go to my outreach draft so I can quickly either enter spaces or fix issues or make sure I'm not making false promises. But most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, the system works pretty flawlessly. So we'll go ahead and hit submit. That form submission is being processed. You'll see just how quickly this happens. We might not even see the webhook trigger, but it will draft the response and go ahead and send it to Johnny for us. All right, so it just happened. That took what, maybe 30 seconds. Here is the email. Again, email received, talk to you soon. Hey, Johnny. So the cool thing is the ChatGPT assistant recognized that John actually goes by Johnny and responded in kind. So hey, Johnny, thanks for your interest in our AI solutions. We certainly can assist you with integrating an AI assistant for your carpet cleaning business. I suggest we set up a quick meeting to discuss your specific requirements and how our solution would best fit your needs. Please use the link below to book an appointment at a time that works best for you. So we've got the booking link. Again, I recommend using a button like this. This is just some HTML that I need to format a little bit better and add a break in that line. But if you click on the book appointment link or the button, it will take you straight to the Google appointment setter. So this is a free tool, and it's why I like using it a lot. If we wanted to fix that spacing issue with the booking button, we would just come down here to the code that we wrote, and we would we would add a couple HTML breaks like so. So that should fix that problem. If you want any of the code that I used for creating the email signature with the button, it's not an image, it's like a Google booking link button that I embedded into the signature sign-off. Go ahead and leave a DM or a comment, and I can put that free resource out there for you, and we'll post it on the website. Again, if you're interested in having your own AI assistant do a lot of this work for you and pretty much eliminate all of the extra time spent doing cold outreach or responding to clients, again, go ahead and reach out to me via the website, www.precisionsalesstudios.com, or in the link below, and get on the calendar with using the nifty tool I just showed you here. And as always, if you got suggestions or you have questions on tools that you'd like to see or built out for the next video, please don't hesitate to drop a DM or email us or leave a comment. Again, like, subscribe, and looking forward to hearing from you guys.